Welcome to Money, Manifestation, and Business, the podcast that shows you how to use your energy, intention, and consciousness to reprogram your money mindset, unleash a new level of possibility, and create a life and business that lights you up. I'm your host, Jamie Berman, and I invite you to join me each week for a dose of inspiration, coaching, and teachings to help you rewrite your money story, create abundance on your terms, and grow your business in a way that's fully aligned for you. This is going to be so much fun. Let's dive in. Hi guys, guess what? I am dropping some bonus podcast episodes just for you. Because if you know me, you know that my intention is to help you have a shift, a transformation around your relationship with money and business, and to learn that creating money, creating lots of money is not as hard as you are making it out to be. So we are going to dive into the energetics of money over these next 3 episodes, and I hope you enjoy it just as much as those who came live. All right. And if you're loving the energy of this work and you want more of it, I invite you to come join me inside of my high-level group coaching container, the Money Manifestation Movement. You can learn more about it in the show notes. And until then, I hope you really enjoy these bonus episodes. So my intention for this, like I said, is to help provide that shift that you want, to help you rewrite your money story, to see that money isn't this hard thing that is for other people, for lucky people. It's literally something anyone can learn to create. Now, were all of us taught to create money like growing up? No, most of us weren't, including myself, right? We were taught money doesn't grow on trees. It's hard to get. You have to work really hard to make money. It's for other people. It's for really smart people. It's for people that go to college or do this, right? Like all kinds of things that we were taught about money. That is absolutely not true, right? It's absolutely not true. So what I want to support you in doing is seeing that money is not as hard as you're making it out to be. And money is a skill that anyone can learn. I'm going to say this again. Money is a skill that anyone can learn if you commit yourself to learning that skill, right? So that's why I'm here. Also, I love doing these live events because I know a lot of you are interested in working together. A lot of you have been thinking about either joining me in the Money Manifestation Movement, which is my 1-year amazing transformational money program. And some of you have thought about joining my mastermind. And the truth is, I really like you to come and get a taste of my work before you make that decision, right? Because when I think about hiring someone, it's so important that it's an energetic match, that it's someone that I come into their world and I leave feeling better, right? So you'll know on this call if it's in alignment for me being your coach or not, right? Which is totally fine. But coming to an event like this is going to help you see, like, if you get value here, you're going to 10x the value in my paid programs. And also another thing is, so my Money Manifestation Movement program, my 1-year transformational money program, it's like a high-level group coaching container where I am your coach. It's an amazing program. And we are raising the rate significantly of that program on February 1st. And I wanted to give all of you in my community who has been like on the fence, thinking about it, just kind of waiting, I wanted to give you one last chance to get in at the lower rate before the price increases, right? So that's another reason I wanted to host this event, because I want to give you all that opportunity. You will have till February 1st to get in at a lower rate. We're literally raising the rate by $2,500 on February 1st, just to match the value of the program, right? To basically, like, that program is such an over deliver that my team was like, I don't even understand why it's that price. It doesn't match the value of the program at all. So we made that executive decision to raise the rate, but you all have the opportunity to get it for less. Okay. All right. I love it. Okay. So let's see. Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention. So how to get the most out of these 3 days. Let's talk about that. So if you aren't in the Facebook group yet, highly recommend getting in there because that's where we get really interactive and where we dive in and actually implement the work that I'm teaching, which is what gets you transformation, right? You can learn it and that's helpful. It's helpful to hear it and have like an energy shift. But if you actually implement it, that's how you're going to get results, right? And you have no idea. I've run live events like this a couple times a year. You have no idea how many emails and messages that I get afterwards of like, holy cow, those 3 days were huge. I manifested this money. I got this amount of clients. I feel so much better. I feel so much difference. I just literally had a client who I was interviewing and she said, I came to your manifestathon, which is an event similar to this. She said back in April, and I was on the cusp of like leaving my business. She's like, I was over it. I was frustrated. I wasn't making money. She said, I came to the event. I had such a shift that it reignited something within me. And she joined the movement. She ended up going from having 1 client to 17 clients, right? In 3 months. And it started with the free program, right? And she went all in. She did the homework assignments. So I'm going to teach you what you can do to actually implement, and it's everything. I promise you it will make a difference. So Daniela just posted the Facebook group in the chat. So if you're not in there, go ahead and get in there because you can also, we're going to give away prizes, which are really freaking good prizes. So if you do the homework and you come to all 3 live calls, you have the opportunity to submit to win some really good prizes. One including, I'm going to tell you what the prizes are, a Louis Vuitton card holder, like credit card holder. It's so freaking cute. I'm like, I want to win it. I don't even have that and I want it. And it's so adorable. So someone's going to win it. It's so adorable. Someone else is going to be able to win a one-on-one money manifestation strategy session with me, which I don't do one-on-ones besides one-on-one with my masterminders, right? Like that is something that I rarely do. So you will have the opportunity to win it and it will be awesome. And then the third prize is a $50 Amazon gift card with a list. I'll give you a PDF of all my favorite money and manifestation books and resources so you can buy them on Amazon. So say that to say, you totally want to show up and do this work because not only are you going to benefit and have the shift around money and in your business, but also you can win the prizes. So here's how you win. Here's how you get the most out of this. Let me share with you. Number 1, you have to come to all 3 calls, right? So make sure to come to all 3 calls. And on each of these calls, I am going to give you a money mantra to practice for the day. Now, this is a secret money mantra. So what you have to do, since you're showing up for the call, is save that money mantra, right? Write it down somewhere, but it's a secret, right? Because we don't want to share it with everyone because you want to make sure everyone who's actually like has to come to the calls to submit for these prizes. So make sure to write it down in your notebook. Each of the days, I'm going to give you a different one. So you save that, okay? Number 2, just do the little mini homework assignment that I give you in the Facebook group. And you'll just use the hashtag, like, for example, today will be day 1, right? And then you'll just write out what I tell you for the homework assignment. And that's the implementation piece. And if you do these things, show up to the 3 calls and implement the mini homework assignments, which are going to be fun, I promise you, you will have a shift. All right. So that's what it is. I'm actually going to, let me go ahead and put this here for you. Oh yeah, one other fun thing is that if you want, it's in the chat, just if you were like, wait, how do I do this again? So go ahead and check that out. But you will get also, if you take a picture of these teachings, if you show yourself doing the homework assignment and you post it on social and you tag me on Instagram, I will repost it and you will be able to submit twice for the day. So just to share the love, share the abundance, spread the word that you're doing this work. And maybe one of your friends will want to do it with you and be your manifestation bestie and be, an accountability partner. So if you share on social, tag me. I'll repost it. You can do it in stories or you can do it on your feed. Just a picture of you doing the work or a picture of you watching the call or the call, any of that. And you spread the love and spread the abundance. You get 2 submissions at the end of the series. So anyways, let me know if you guys have any questions about that. And okay, so I want to introduce myself for those of you who I don't know, because I do understand a lot of you are new here. So I am Jamie Berman. Obviously, I think you know that much, but I am a money coach. I'm a money and manifestation coach. And it really came from my own feeling around money. And me also always loving manifestation, but not really understanding how to use it around money. I felt like for so much of my life, I manifested all kinds of amazing things. I manifested this house in the Hollywood Hills that I could afford, right? That was like super cheap, right? For like, it was wild, right? Like I manifested like my husband, I manifested jobs, all kinds of things. But the one thing that I struggled to manifest was money. And that's something that I felt stuck around for so much of my life. Like all through my 20s and my early 30s, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was always worried about money. I was in scarcity. I had a business, but I just always felt like I couldn't keep up. I felt like it was so hard to get people to say yes. I hated having sales conversations. I felt like everyone had money objections and it was so hard to work with it, right? And it wasn't until I met one of my mentors, and she changed a lot for me, because like I had struggled for so long with that area of my life and felt like I could just never get ahead with money. Like other things were really good, but money was always a struggle, right? And money was always a struggle in business, to the point where at some points I even felt like, is business even for me, right? Like this is so frustrating. And then I met my mentor and she said, the amount of money you have is a direct reflection of your relationship with money. Right? Which that was like so eye-opening to me, because when I understood relationship with money, what that means, it's how you think about money. It's how you feel about money. It's how you treat money. Right. And before, I thought money equaled like hard work. You had to be really smart. It was for lucky people. It felt like something that I just didn't have access to. Right. It was just like, yeah, there's money and there's people who make money and then there's me. Right. But when she said that, it made me realize, wait a minute. I know for sure I do not have an amazing relationship with money, right? There's a lot of scarcity. I have a lot of these limiting thoughts that I can't make it. It's for smart people. And I realized like, oh, what would happen if I just, instead of like trying harder, instead of trying to get the perfect strategy and instead of trying to like hustle for results, what if I really went all in and tried to change my relationship with money? Right. And that's when things started to really shift. And I saw the power of shifting my thoughts, of shifting my feelings, of learning how to manage my mind around money and be intentional about the way that I think about it, and be intentional about the way I think about my business and selling and what other people think about money, right? My thoughts about what I think other people think. When I started shifting that and looking at it like one by one, everything started changing and fast. And that's how I know, holy cow, like she's right. She's right. Right. Because that was the one change I made. It's not like I changed the amount of work hours I had. It's not like I changed my strategy. I just started doing my inner work around money, and the outer started reflecting, right? I went from making $14,000 in my business to $100,000, up to $500,000, then up to manifesting $2 million through another channel, and becoming a self-made millionaire through my business and real estate. Like, just opening new channels of abundance, because I've been continuously working on my relationship with money for the past 5 years. But I really saw an immediate return once I started doing that work. And that's why I'm like, I have to teach this, right? I can't hold back. In fact, I had clients coming to me like, wait a minute, I had a completely different business, you guys. I was a coach, but I was teaching like weight loss, body image, And I started having people come to me like, wait, I noticed a shift. Like, will you coach me around this money thing? Will you coach me around business? And I just started coaching and I loved it so much that I was like, wait, this is my passion. I got to teach this. It's like so much easier than people make it out to be. Right. And that's when I learned like making money is a skill that anyone can learn if you dedicate yourself to it. But just like anything, it takes an investment in your brain, time, financially, because I hired a coach to like really help me spot my own limiting beliefs, right? Like around money. It's hard to see what you can't see. It's hard to see what like you think is just real. So having someone who helped me was like everything. So anyone can learn this skill. I'm going to be teaching it today. I'm going to be teaching some of the most important steps that you probably haven't learned. I'm going to be teaching today why you maybe have been setting money goals or trying to manifest money, however you put it, right? But like, it's not working for you. And you're like, I think I'm doing all the right things, but why isn't it working? I'm going to tell you why. All right. And I want you to like, as I go through this, I want you to kind of identify if that's you, right? Like, oh, maybe that's me. So kind of listen as I'm going through this, why maybe it hasn't been working. Okay. So number one, most people try to manifest or they go after, like if manifestation doesn't sit with you, basically what I mean by manifestation is the process of creating something new, right? It's like learning to create money. That's manifestation, right? It's changing your energy. It's changing your thoughts so that you can create different results. It's doing the inner work so that you can create the outer results, right? That's what manifestation is. But if that word doesn't land for you, think of money goal, right? So if you haven't reached like money goals, business goals, or things that you've been manifesting, this is probably, it's one of these three things. Number one, most people are trying to manifest money from desperation, lack, or scarcity, or even just the energy of it's not enough, right? And if you think about manifestation, it's like your inner world is, or your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. The amount of money that you have is a direct reflection of your relationship with money, right? So it's going to kind of mimic, right? If you want more abundance, you want to create that internally first. You want to create abundance inside, emotional abundance, and that's going to attract outer abundance. But what most people do is they're like, I want outer abundance because I feel desperate, because I don't feel like I have enough, because I'm terrified of running out of money, right? So I want you to think about that. Has that been the energy that you've been in if you were to reflect, right? It's like the energy of I don't have enough now. I'm not enough now. I need this money in order to feel enough. I need this money in order to feel safe, right? But it doesn't work. You will not be able to manifest from that place. And that's why so many people have a lot of things on their vision board, because they're hoping their vision board is going to save them. They're hoping their vision board is going to get them out of lack, out of desperation, out of scarcity. But it's not, number one, never going to, because safety, security, sufficiency, abundance, these are emotional states. They are mental states, right? Mental and emotional states that will not be changed by outer things. How do we know this is true? So many of you have gotten pay increases, right? You've gotten promotions, you've brought in more money, but you're still afraid. You're still in scarcity. You're still desperate for more, right? And that's how we know that is not what does it for us. So what we have to do is really like switch things around. And if you want to manifest and if you want it to work, what you have to commit to is learning how to and committing to really building this practice and this skill of creating emotional abundance first, right? You don't have to have money to create emotional abundance. You don't, because abundance and enoughness or sufficiency is a feeling that is created by our perception. by the way that we think about the world, but by the way that we see the world, by the way that we think about ourselves, right? I mean, each of you are here on a computer probably, or a phone, right? I imagine you're okay, right? I imagine you're okay. You probably have enough right here, right now. You're probably safe, right? You probably have at least access to some resources. Even if you don't have access to money, you probably have access to some food, or like, you know what I mean? Like, we all have enough. But the problem is our ego is so conditioned to think not enough, not enough, not enough, never enough, never enough, never enough. I need more. Oh, I got that. I need more. I got that. I need more. And we're never in a place where we actually feel abundant. I know millionaires, multi-millionaires who are in extreme fear of losing their money. They are not in abundance. They are not enjoying it. They don't even feel rich, right? So we don't want that, right? It's like, what's the point if that's how it's going to be? You do not even take in what you have. And so many of us are that right now. And I'm not even saying you have to be a millionaire, but it's like learning how to create that space of sufficiency, of enough now, and to create from there. But sufficiency is the starting point. Abundance, and I'm going to throw a couple words only because all of these will work, right? So the reason I'm going to throw out a couple words is because I want you to see what resonates for you. Okay. Abundance, sufficiency, enoughness, safety, right? These kinds of things, security. These are emotional states that we want to get to. And that's the foundation we want to be manifesting from. Because if we're trying to manifest from desperation, it's not going to work, right? If you think about law of attraction, like attracts like. So if you're always in scarcity, always thinking about how far you have to go and how little you've made and how, you're not good enough, you're not going to manifest. You're not going to attract money, right? You can work super freaking hard and try to hustle there, strive to get there. And sure, you can make some money from that place, but no amount of money is going to make up for a lack of, self-acceptance, a lack of sufficiency, or it's not going to make up for like a lack mentality. It won't. We see it all the time. So I just want you all to reflect on that. Do you think you may have been trying to manifest from a place of not enough? Like, maybe just acknowledge it if it is. Let me know. Let me know if that might have been the case for you. Yeah, totally. And that's why it doesn't work. And then it's so frustrating because you're like, I'm visualizing this. I'm thinking thoughts intentionally, but emotionally, my main emotional state is lack. My main emotional state is not enough, is unworthy, right? And so it just doesn't work. And then it's so frustrating. And we think manifestation doesn't work, but manifestation works. You just have to make like literally your priority to be, what is my emotional state around money? How do I feel about money? And my friends, your circumstances don't dictate that. This is something that we can all take our power back around. Is it the easiest thing in the world? No. Is it going to happen without your intention, without your practice, without your investment in it in terms of putting the time in, having someone help you with it, right? Having someone spot your blind spots. No, right? It's a skill that anyone can learn, but you have to be willing to get support around it. You have to be willing to put time, energy, and effort into it and really set that intention and take your power back and say, you know what? I'm not going to be a victim anymore, right? Which is not always easy. I know. But it's like, no, like I'm taking my power back. Like I'm going to, like, it's almost like, what if I'm in control of my emotional state? If I take that power back, everything will change. Yes, Miguel. I know, right? I get it. And why do I get this so hard, you guys? Because this was me for so many years. And it was so frustrating because I've read at least 200 manifestation books and I tried all the things and I manifested all kinds of things. But like, I was like, why the heck doesn't it work for money? And that's what I realized, right? Like, I realized it the hard way. And that's why I'm like so passionate about teaching it. And that's why when I work with people, like over a period of time, I'm just helping them every time we meet, right, is like, nope, let's shift this again. Let's shift it back. Let's shift you into abundance. It's not something that typically happens where it's like, okay, at this 3-day event, I'm just going to shift into abundance and then it's going to be like that forever. It is literal, consistent work. You have to train your brain, train your consciousness. You have to go into training. This is why I work with people over a 1-year period of time. I'm not like, oh yeah, let's just do this for 2 months or 3 months. No, like, because I need to keep pulling you back until it becomes your normal state of being, right? So good. Yes. So good. Okay. Another reason, so that was reason number 1, that you're really struggling to manifest money. Reason number 2 is because you're way, way, way too caught in your current circumstances, right? Way too caught in what's happening now, how many clients you have now, what your schedule looks like now, how much money you've made in the past year, how many times you haven't hit your goal. All of that, if you're constantly thinking about your past and what's happened in the past and what your current circumstances are, and you're letting that dictate what's possible for you, and also letting that dictate your identity, like what you think about yourself, what you believe about yourself, you're going to stay in that, right? You'll just keep circulating that same thing over and over and over. And again, like I said, this isn't like easy for the ego and the brain, but it is absolutely doable if you commit yourself to it. It's to say, okay, I created everything up until this point based upon past thinking, based upon my past consciousness, right? Based upon the way that I saw things. Basically, it was your inner world of the past created what you have now. Your inner world now is going to create what you have in the future. But you can't keep dictating what you think and believe and tell yourself is possible based upon your past or what you have now. You have to be willing to courageously decide on purpose something new about yourself, something new about what's possible for you. And you have to commit yourself to that wholeheartedly, right? So yeah, I love it. I love that Mindy says, I think this finally clicked for me at the retreat. Yes. So a lot of my retreaters, right, had some big awakenings. We were just doing a live in-person retreat for the new year in San Diego. And it was big. This was kind of a big theme of it, is like not letting this hold you back. You can't let your past hold you back. You can't let your current circumstances, again, right? Like a lot of people say, well, Jamie, I have to feel unsafe. I have to feel desperate because this is my situation. That may be your situation. And that's a situation. I get it. I'm not saying that it's not something that is super, right? I'm not saying it's ideal for sure. I'm not going to sit here and gaslight you and say, oh yeah, it's amazing, right? No, that's a situation. But if you want to get out of it, you have to be willing to think differently. You have to be willing to think beyond it, right? To create a vision that's beyond it and commit to that vision. Think about the vision more than you think about your current circumstances. So many of us, again, all we do is think about our current circumstances and freak out and worry about it. So yeah, so good. I love it. I love it. Hales, that's awesome. I'm so happy that you love the retreat. So good. Okay, so tell me if that's you. Like, let's just call ourselves out. That's what this is for. This is a safe space. We're all doing this together, right? Everyone's here for the same reason. Have you sort of let your current circumstances dictate what's possible for you? Do you think that might be what's been holding you back energetically from actually manifesting more money? Yeah. Yep. Yes. Got plenty of evidence, right? Totally. And of course you'll have evidence because your past results came from past inner state. So of course you have evidence, right? But we don't want to look for evidence of how it's not working. We want to look for evidence of how it is working. And actually, that brings me to another, I'm going to shift gears here. That brings me to another point that if you want to manifest more, one of the best ways to get yourself into the state of abundance is actually to appreciate the manifestations that are coming to life now, right? To start noticing them, start acknowledging them, start looking for them. Where are manifestations coming to life on a daily basis, right? Like, what is going well? What am I winning at? It changes everything. It moves you into a state of abundance. And the more you celebrate what's working, the more will work for you. So also in that Facebook group, think of that Facebook group as a place where we're all coming together this week to have a big energetic shift and to really implement this stuff and inspire one another, right? Anytime you share, you're inspiring someone else. So I also want you to share evidence in there. If you see manifestations coming to life, start sharing them, right? Hashtag evidence and put it in the Facebook group, right? The more that we all share that kind of stuff, it really inspires one another and it creates an amazing energy for the group. So anything, even if it's the smallest thing, celebrate it and use hashtag evidence in there. It really works. I've done that for all my other live events, and it makes such a difference, such a difference. Okay. All right. I'm going to give you all the word of the day, the mantra of the day. Okay. So make sure to save it, make sure to write it down. And it's a secret, right? So that you can win. The mantra of the day is making money is a skill that I'm learning. Making money is a skill that I'm learning. Put it in the chat. And you don't share this in the Facebook group, because again, like I said, it's a secret. But what I want you to do is repeat that like 100 times today. Repeat it to yourself or put it somewhere. That's going to be your thought of the day. Yeah, totally, Sharon. I love it. So good. So that is our mantra of the day. I did not hear the mantra. Making money is a skill that I'm learning. Yep. Awesome. Good. I love it, right? Who wants to claim that? Right? And like, what's really fun is like, I feel like I've learned the skill of making money, but I'm learning to become like a multimillionaire now, which is super fun. I already am, but I'm like, I want to continue growing that, right? Like, I'm super excited about learning other ways, like other channels to bring in money. So you can always use that just for the next evolution of what's the next thing that I want to learn, right? And I'm like, I've been getting really into like real estate investments and investing in things. And for me, it's just fun. It's to think about like opening new channels for abundance to come through. So I'm learning along with you all, right? And if your skill right now is just learning to create money in your business, yes, it's a skill you can learn if you commit yourself to it. I love it. I love it. So good. Okay. So, let me see. Okay. So one last reason, like I said, there's 3 reasons a lot of people don't manifest the money that they want to, or create the money or hit their money goals. The third main reason why manifestation doesn't work around money is because a lot of people are not deciding exactly where they want to be, right? You don't have a visual in your mind of where you're going. You haven't like totally declared it to the universe of like, oh yeah, this is what I want to create for my life. And it doesn't have to be a short-term manifestation. You could say, like, sometimes when you're starting off, it's easier to say in 3 years, this is where I want to be, or in 5 years, this is where I want to be. Or you could say in 1 year, this is what I would love to create in my business. And you declare it and you solidify it. Think of it as like it turns into cement in your brain. So you have to kind of have like this, you have to have unwavering belief in that. You have to have this unwavering vision. And what gets in the way a lot of times is that people are like, oh, my current circumstances aren't aligned with that. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. And then you let the vision waver. And the universe is like, what the heck do you want, girl? Or guy or them, right? Like, what do you want? You are being very vague. You are all over the place. So I don't even know. I'm just going to give you trickles, right? So like, that's another reason. Oprah is one of my favorite mentors and teachers. And she always like says, one of the main reasons that people don't get what they want is because they don't decide what they want. And it's not like, it's one thing to say, oh, I want more money, but like Jack Canfield says, vague goals will give you vague results. You could get another cent in a year, but just declaring like a vision, a cemented vision of what you want and make it unwavering. But remember, not from desperation, from a place of a desire to create, because it's something you want to create, because it's someone you really want to become, right? You want to think of it, I always talk about my clients with it as it's a desire that comes from your soul, it comes from your heart. This isn't egoic. It's not like, oh, well, if I can manifest anything, I might as well just go for a mansion over there and this. Not that you can't have those things, but if it's not like connected to your soul, and if it's not something that actually like lights you up and you feel passionate about and like something you really want, it's just going to be a mismatch, right? It's like, why, right? So you want to really like decide on a desire that's connected to your heart. And that's why I'm big on like putting intentions behind your desire, which is kind of like your why. So it's deciding what you want with your business. Financially, what do you want that to look like? And why? What's the intention behind it, right? Because intention is everything. And you want it riding on an intention that feels like love, not like desperation or scarcity or not enoughness, because it's just not a match then. So those are the three things that I really want to offer. Yeah, totally. That's been me. Universe is like, girl, make up your mind. Do you want lack or abundance? Yes, like a dang roller coaster, 100%. So if you haven't been making the money that you want to, please don't think this doesn't work for you. Please don't think manifestation won't work for me. I've tried it so many times. It's probably about adjusting the way you've been doing it, right? So it's about doing it from a different energy, manifesting from a completely different energy. When I say energy, I mean thought and feeling and action, what we put into it, right? Are we manifesting it from love, or are we manifesting it from fear and lack? You want to manifest it from the energy of love. And when you're manifesting it from a place of, I'm enough now, I have enough now, like it's good now, it's amazing now, and I'm excited to keep evolving and creating. Oh my God, you become magnetic. And also in sales, people feel desperation. They do. They don't like know consciously what's going on, but energetically, people feel desperation. So when you can literally get yourself into a place of abundance in your life and in your business, and when I say abundance, I mean emotional abundance. You don't have to have the money that you want to ultimately to create emotional abundance. Right? If you come from that place, you become magnetic because you're not needy. You're not needy. You're coming from love. You're coming from passion. You're coming from a desire to help people. It's so different, and people receive that. Right? And that's why so many of my clients make these shifts and they're like, I don't even understand what's going on. I changed the way that I think about things and see things. And all of a sudden I have like clients pouring in, or I'm making more money than ever. And they're like, I just don't even understand it. Is it a fluke, right? Their mind can't really make sense of it. But really, this is the work. This is how it works. Yeah. Set intentions that feel like love. Yeah. So good. I love it. I love it so much. It doesn't even register until you point it out. Haha. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, totally. And that's why, like, I'm just here to point it out and help you all see what might have been getting in the way. And so that you can shift it and really set that intention of, I want to shift this. I want to learn how to shift this. And I want to learn the skill of making money. And that's what I'm committed to this year, because 2024 is the year of abundance. I claim that, right? Why not? Why not? Okay. So I'm going to give you all a homework assignment, and then I'm going to open up the floor for questions and coaching potentially. Okay. So here is your homework assignment of the day. Number one, and you're going to write this in the Facebook group. So I want you to reflect on it. And then at any point throughout the next 24 hours, just share it in the Facebook group with the hashtag day one. Number one is, I want you to think about what lens you would have to look through in order to feel enough now. What evidence can you find that you have enough now, right? So basically, I want you to think about either the feeling of sufficiency, abundance, enoughness, right? These are all feelings. And I want you to think about, what would I have to think in my life now in order to feel that way? And write those down in the Facebook group. And when you do that, what's really helpful is it's going to give other people ideas too, right? And then you'll get ideas from other people. This is the work. So I want to ask you all, are you committed to just 24 hours, right? I'm not even asking you to go beyond that, but are you committed to create emotional abundance for yourself today, right? Yeah. I'll say it one more time. Awesome. Awesome. So 24 hours, guys, let's create emotional abundance, right? And do everything from emotion of like, pretend you're rich as hell, right? So just pretend you have so much money. Just pretend, right? Act as if. And then like, how would I run my business if I had enough, right? And what would I think? So here's what it was again. Homework. I'm going to write it here. What thoughts will you practice to get yourself into the feeling of enough or abundance? So I just put it in the chat, and share that in the Facebook group. And then also, second piece of the homework is, from that place, what do you want to commit to this year, right? What do you want to manifest? And declare that. Make it solid, cement it in, make it unwavering. Decide right here, right now, this is what I'm doing this year. My current circumstances, okay, they're this, that's fine, but here's where I'm headed. This is what I'm committed to. If making money is a skill that I can learn, this is where I want to be in my life. But from a place, like creating it from a place of enoughness. And then from that place, what do you want to manifest? What are you declaring today? Because we have to plug that into the universe, right? And like unwavering, right? Okay, I'm going to take questions. Okay, I'll do that first. How did we create emotional abundance after a breakup or grieving period? I had some losses in September, including a baby puppy and a breakup, and I have been feeling not as abundant emotionally as I've seen my business slow down. Okay, Lana, first, I'm so sorry for your losses. That's so sad. And of course, like, that's the thing, is we're all gonna be humans. We're gonna have grief. Like, there's no human that actually can like get away from that, right? Like, we're gonna have dark nights of the soul. We're gonna have moments where, and maybe years where we go through grief or challenges or obstacles. But the thing is, this is what I always say. There's a lot of rich people in the world, right? And rich people have these problems too, right? Like, rich people go through grief. And I always think, this is how I always hold it. It's like, I wonder what their thoughts are about their ability to make money while going through grief, right? They probably think, of course, I just always make money, right? Like, I'm someone who makes money. I can make money while I'm grieving. It's a both. It's like, and I can make money and slow down. I think that's another thing, is like, I can take this time to heal and make money, because money doesn't come from time. Money doesn't come from hard work. Money comes from the belief I can make money, right? So that's the work that I would do, is just look at like maybe what you've unconsciously told yourself because you're going through grief and you're having these heavy feelings. What have you maybe started to tell yourself about your ability to create money or what it takes to make money, right? Because what if you can have both? What if you can absolutely spend this time healing and grieving, and you can also make money, right? Yeah, like for example, I had a client last year who was going through she said probably the hardest year in her entire life. She was a new mom and she was going through a divorce and had heavy loads of grief, of sadness, of all the emotions, right? But she just decided, like, I'm not going to let that get in the way of me making money, right? So she was like, I'm going to hold that and I'm going to heal. And I'm going to decide that I can make money too. And she committed, and she had her biggest year ever, like ever. I mean, she went from making $200 a month to making $30,000 a month in a year, going through literally the hardest time of her life. Like, so many things that she went through. So I say that to say that, and she did take time to grieve and she took care of herself. And it was kind of like the more she took care of herself and the more she healed it and did her own inner work. And then she also like got help with her relationship with money and was getting coached all the time. And so I just kind of helped her work through that and say, no, like we can have both, it's not one or the other. So that's what I would offer to you. And it could be like, can I hold grief and can I hold that like I have enough, I am safe, how is the universe working in my favor right now, right? Like how am I in even just sufficiency, how is there safety here, how is there enoughness? So good. Okay, so we have like 10 minutes, so does anybody want to actually come up and get some coaching? If you do, you can raise your virtual hand and I'll bring you up. Okay, Dekeira, let's do it. I'm going to bring you up as panelist.
Hi.
Hi, Dekeira. Hey, just letting you know this is obviously being recorded, and so we'll send the replay. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm at work, but I'm on break, so it's fine.
Love it. Okay, good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
What would you like some support with?
So I am launching a new program on February 1st called the Manifestation Food and Mood Program. And for those who do not know, I'm a dietitian. So I'm trying to combine manifestation with nutrition counseling to help people manifest their anxiety away because I focus on mental health. And I've had launches in the past and they were never successful and I wasn't able to previously attract clients.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to let go of that fear because I really want to attract at least 4 to 5 clients so I can leave this job. But I don't want to do it out of fear or desperation, which I don't feel as though I am in fear or desperation. I'm more so very excited about the program. I think it's very unique.
Okay.
But just any tips? I listened to your advice when you said to do an affirmation where you said, I am really good at, and that's what I've been doing.
Yep.
I try to affirm that I am really good at attracting clients or I'm really good at making money, but any other like.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you this. Let's pretend you didn't have the thought, my other launches didn't go well. Let's pretend it was just not there anymore. You weren't holding on to that thought at all. You just literally decided to release it, surrender it, let it go. It wasn't in your consciousness at all. What would be different energetically if you never thought that thought?
I would definitely feel a lot. I mean, I am pretty excited, but I would feel more confident if I never had the previous experiences of having unsuccessful launches.
Yes. So I think that's the only like energetic block that could be getting in the way is just you thinking about past ones that haven't gone well.
Yeah.
Instead, I wonder if there's a way to rewrite that of like, I did those and why do you think they didn't go well?
I think in the past, I was actually doing it more so out of scarcity and just wanting clients. And I wasn't driven. I was driven by it, but I wasn't like that passionate about it. But I think what's different about this program is that I'm actually more passionate about it because I'm combining manifestation with nutrition counseling.
Yes.
So it's a lot more fun and exciting. So I feel more driven by passion this time rather than before. It was more so like I just want clients so I can have money and not work.
Yeah, totally. So what's happening is like you're comparing your now with a totally past consciousness.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like you haven't launched yet because you really haven't launched from this new consciousness yet. Okay, you've never launched from this place with where you're at now and how much you've grown. This is a brand new, totally different launch than anything
it is. Yeah.
Right. So that's what I would hold.
And I would also try to, because I don't want to feel like I have to be constantly on social media to make money. So I just post like once a day, talking about the program, and then I just like get off. So I'm trying to also get to the mindset that I don't have to overwork myself to have a successful launch. I can do less and make more. Yes,
totally. Yeah, I mean, people are going to be attracted to your energy if you're in a place of passion, if you're in a place of being excited to help them create results, right? That's always like my biggest manifestation is for my clients to get amazing results. Like I want that even more than me to get good results, right? So like, because I think that way, it's just easier to attract people in because they can feel my desire to really help them get transformation. That's
Okay,
what's
that makes
magnetic.
sense.
So I think thinking stuff like that too, like tapping into your desire to help them, tapping into your knowing that you can help them, like creating
Okay.
confidence around that and really practicing those kind of thoughts and that kind of energy and really reminding yourself, this is my first launch. Like this really is
Yeah.
with where you are. I know how much, because so Dekeira was one of my podcast coaching guests. So we got to meet. And I know how much inner work you've done in the past, I don't even know, what is it, 6 months or so?
Yeah, for sure. 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah. So like this is a brand new launch. Brand
That's
new. Totally.
okay.
So any thoughts?
I think I just have to focus on what you said of the fact that I should keep affirming that my clients are always having, my clients are seeing great success or they're seeing like really good progress.
Yeah, totally.
But
Focus
yeah,
on that
I like
100%.
everything you said also before.
Yeah, I love it. So good. I'm sending you so
Thank
much good
you.
energy for it. I'm
Thank you
excited
so
for
much.
you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
you got it. All
Thank you.
right. I'll move you back to attendee.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So good. I love these ideas in the comments too. Let's see. Love it. Okay, let me see if there's one more question. Okay. I struggle with the idea of asking for more financially when I have an incredible amount now. I have the thought that I am being greedy and feel ashamed. Okay, anonymous. So here's the thing is that that's because probably a part of your brain thinks that like it's limited, right? That money is limited and you can't ask for more if you have enough. And also what ends up, I think what a lot of us think is like, oh, if I have more, then that means I'm taking away from others. But I actually have shifted that to have the opposite thought of like, the more I allow myself to receive, the more I can give. Right? Because I teach the law of giving and receiving. You can only give to the extent that you are willing to receive. And I know that it's so wild, right? Even like, for example, I raised my rates, which I have no drama about. I feel so obviously like, yes, this is very obvious that I'm raising my rates on February 1st. And what's so fun is that a lot of people think, oh no, if you're asking for more, others are going to have less. No, you know what happened? I got on a coaching call with my masterminders. I told them about it, one of my groups, and probably at least 5 of them said, you know what? I have to raise my rates too, right? So like the energy of that, I am asking for more. And it's really energetically not only having others ask for more and seeing, oh, that's possible, but also I think about it like this. If I'm making more, right? I can pay my team more. I can have more team members. Right? I'm spreading the abundance so much. I'm helping the economy, right? And the way that I think about it is it's truly infinite. Money is infinite. It is an energy. It is literally being printed every single day. And it's either going to be me that claims it and us heart-centered entrepreneurs or like billionaires that aren't doing great things with it. So we might as well have more heart-centered entrepreneurs making more money because the world becomes a better place. Money is a really positive resource, right? So you having more is only going to create more in the world, right? So that's my thoughts about it. It's not greedy. It's actually greedy to not ask for more. Because guess what's going to happen? Then you're limited, right? Then you can't be generous. Then you can't give. Then you can't hire. You can't go out and support. So it's actually, my thought is it's probably more greedy for you not to accept more. All right, you guys, I think we're about at time. But I will see you in the Facebook group and we're going to dive deep in tomorrow and we're like literally just getting started. So I'm super excited for you all. I'm super excited for you to manifest really the most abundance this year than ever. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening. I hope this episode is something that you'll be able to add to your manifestation toolbox to come back to when you need a little extra motivation. If you like what you've heard today and want to take it deeper, you've got to come check out my signature coaching program, the Money Manifestation Movement. It's the place where you'll not only learn manifestation, but you'll begin to live it alongside me and an amazing community of like-minded entrepreneurs doing this work together. Head on over to jamieberman.com to learn more.